Hi everyone, I have been working on a page in this book, Escape to Wonderland, and I thought I would show you how I'm going to do the background. I thought it would be quite fun. So I've been working on it this morning. I haven't been recording this morning, and I thought as I was recording this afternoon and I wanted to do this background, I would show you, just because I know some people find backgrounds a little bit tricky, and this is quite an easy one, I hope. Anyway, so I haven't quite finished the detailing on the hat, or the black and the orange. I wanted it to look like I had an orange hat band, but this is a sort of piece of paper with the writing on. This is the Mad Hatter's hat. I'm going to use some pen. I decided to use I'm going to use a black sparkly pen for the name, for the writing, but I don't want to do it yet. I want to do my background first, which is why I've left it. But I will show you it when it's all done at the very end, or in a post on my Facebook or something like that. So I'm going to be using pastels for the background. I've got these, my usual brand, whoops, sorry, are the Mungyo soft pastels. I don't know how much difference there is between different types of pastels. These are just the only ones I had. Now my plan is to use this orange colour for the background. It's going to be a little bit wacky and mad, and we're going to use some glitter, and I just think it'll be fun. So what I'm going to do is actually, I think I'll put the pastels on this side. I don't really want to get too much on this page. It doesn't matter if I get a little bit, because it just rubs off with a normal eraser, but I don't want, ooh, sorry, my chair. I don't want to be, you know, dragging it across from there and risk spilling. So I've got my washable cloth. It looks a bit manky. It's absolutely perfect for doing this sort of thing. What I'm going to do is I want to get 3 shades of orange, but having looked at my set, I've got this very neon-y one here, which I'm not going to use. I don't think I've got this one here, which is perfect. And so I thought I would go down 2 tones. This one is quite yellowy, but that's okay. And I'm going to start with the lightest and just take my cloth and rub it on the stick. Now this is the cleanest way I have found of using pastels. It's just to do this, and you can see it comes onto the cloth. I'm just going to grab another clean cloth. Bear with me, because I want to hold the page still as I go. You can see this is a clean cloth. They really stain, but it doesn't matter. None of that's going to come up on my page, and I need to hold the page, because when you're rubbing on the pastel you risk scrunching the page. So I want to make sure. I could hold it here actually where the hat is, where there's not going to be any pastel. That's, oops, that's another alternative. But I'm just going to get on and start rubbing onto the paper. I don't know how well this paper takes pastel, so I'm just going to go for it and see what happens. And I'm going to try and get as close to the hat as I can, and just keep going, getting more of this yellowy colour. And it doesn't look that orange at the minute, but I'm not worried, because I want a mix of colour. So, and the paper actually is quite cream in this book, which I think helps us with this background. And actually that looks more and more white as we apply this sort of yellowy colour. I'm trying to go as close to the hat as I can without getting it on top of the hat, because I've used black and I faded it. Like here, for example, I can already see there's a bit of yellow in there. I'm not going to get myself worried about it. I don't think, if someone's looking at my picture in that much detail and worrying about whether I've got a bit of yellow pastel on the hat, I'm more worried about them. It's fine. I know it's difficult for some people not to be perfectionists, but I try and let go. This is about fun, and you know, it's fine. So we're just going to spread this all the way around. I'm trying to get it fairly even, but I'm not too worried, because it's going to become uneven later. I sound like there's some sort of big mystery. It's not. It's quite straightforward, really. Now I do this, I've done this for lots of different pages, this background, but not in this colour. I've never tried it in this colour before. I've done it in sort of golds and greens and things like that, and it's I think it's quite effective. And what I've actually done is I've been inspired by, and probably copied, I suppose. I'm going to use the darker one now, not the darkest. This is our sort of transitional orange. And the first time you put some on the sponge, you need to get quite a bit on, so that and then as it sort of saturates. Now I've sort of pinched this idea from people who do watercolour backgrounds, and what they often do, oh I'm using the wrong one there, is have it darker in the corners and lighter towards the item. That's what I'm going to try and do with this. And it's quite splodgy, and I'm okay with that as well. Sometimes I actually splodge in my background. I'm sure that's a technical art term. I haven't been to art college, but you know, I'm sure that's the one they all use. But if you just pat it on, you can get little splodgy shapes, which can be quite useful. I've done it for a background where I wanted it to look like there were leaves in the background, like sort of distant leaves. So you can see what I'm doing, I hope, that I'm sort of going into the corners with this one and then just spreading it in towards the hat a little bit. Now I realise this is probably quite a strange background, but I thought it's quite a strange book, Alice in Wonderland. There's a lot of sort of magic and curious goings on, and so I thought having a background that's, whoops, there we go, that's a little bit wacky, it's probably good fun. Now I'm going to now go in with my darker one, so I'm basically just turning my sponge around, my cloth around, using the next bit. Now this I think is going to be quite a lot darker, look. So I'm going to be a little more gentle with it and careful. I just want it in those corners, spreading outwards. Now I hope you can see. I'm always not too sure exactly how easy it is to see what's going on when I'm really zoomed out. But there we go, here's this corner. Now I'm sorry I didn't actually show you how to do the hat, but I couldn't record this morning because I was waiting. My husband was out and I didn't know what time he was getting in. He came in and I had to help him with something, and then he went out again, so I just didn't want to sort of be disturbed, and I really wanted to just do this page because I was just keen on getting on with it. Now if I take that away, you can see what's happening. You can see we've got sort of darker to lighter areas. I am going to go a little bit darker though. I was a little bit sort of pensive down in this corner, and now I'm going to go darker. I think the orange colour helps our hat band to stand out and sort of make sense almost, and it's just fun, isn't it? Now, and if you keep the paler colour nearer the actual centre, it's sort of, it almost means that I'm just going in with my really pale colour along here because there isn't much. That bit there looks a bit white. There we go. Right, so I'm going to take that away so you can have a look. I'm thinking this corner looks a little bit pale, so we're going to go back in with the dark one. I can put my hand there. So anyway, yes, I couldn't do the hat on camera. I wanted to just get on with it. Right, let's sweep away the excess. So I'm going to try and sweep it onto my piece of paper that's behind the page so that doesn't go all over my desk. Now you could leave it there. Apart from doing this bit, which I'm going to do later. I might do that on camera. We'll see. I might not be able to. Actually. Anyway, I'll have to think about that. What I was going to do was use some Stickles in the background. Now I've got gold, which I think would work fairly well, but I've got black, diamond, and I think I might use this black instead, but I don't know if the glitter is quite the right colour because it's sort of, yeah, it's red and green and blue glitter in there. I don't know how well you can see, whereas this is just gold. I think I've used the gold this time actually, and I'm going to show you. Last time I did this in a picture I was not showing you on camera properly, so I'm using this tool. It's a makeup thingy Q-tip cotton bud makeup thing. Now these aren't that good, to be honest. The ends get quite worn. I don't know if a cotton bud would actually be better. Now let me come out just a little bit, you can see all the mess. So I've got that, I might need that in a minute. So here are I'm going to take the lid off here and just pop it over there. And then what I do is I take my tip, I put it over the black so hopefully you can see, and I squeeze some of this out onto the tip of there, yeah? And then I take it onto the background and just splodge it about a bit. And then sort of spread it a bit, because what I find with Stickles is that they can be quite thick. The glue can be quite thick, and then if you put it on something, it can be tricky to colour on the back. So if I use this technique, it spreads them. If you do it, you have to be quick or else the glue's going to dry, but it doesn't dry that quick. You can spread it around a bit, and you get a sort of pretty pattern. I don't know if I want it looking quite like that. There we go. And you can just keep adding it until you're happy, really. Now try and make sure I do it fairly evenly and don't get it on the hat. That was awfully close, wasn't it? And it's good fun. Now there is a bit of wastage obviously on the cotton bud, and I know you're supposed to spread it with the tip, but I just don't find that works very well for me. But you can try, and if it works for you, go for it. You know, I think it's all about us finding things that work for us, because you know, we're all different and we're all got different. Some of you might be really used to using these or used to using glitter, whereas I'm not, so I'm just finding my own way, and I think it makes the background look more interesting. I don't know how well it's catching the light, but I think even if you can see dark bits on it, it looks quite fun. I was really thinking about doing the black one, and I'm wondering whether to add a bit of the black one in or whether it's gonna not work. I'm really undecided. I think I'll just leave it gold. And I think it just, I don't know, makes it look more special, magical, fancy, fun. It's good fun, that's for sure. So you see, I've just spread a bit, and then I'll spread that out and spread this bit before it dries. And the good thing is that the glue dries. I've just noticed here there's hardly any pastel, but it's too late now. The glue dries see-through, so that's brilliant. These are so good. I love them. So much fun. I could, you see, the black ones I could use on the name on the hat, but I figure it, because they stand out so much, it might make it hard to colour on the back. Again, there I could have done with a bit more pastel, but you know, I think I might just do the tiniest bit. You can see where my thing's getting all weird. It's going a bit squodgy. It's not the best thing. I know you can get reusable Q-tips or cotton buds, and I had thought maybe they were better than using something like this and throwing it away every time, but I don't know how well glitter glue would wash off anything. So I think when you do this, you've just got to, you know, do something with it that you can throw away. Sometimes I have done it on a piece of kitchen paper, and I just rolled it up into a ball and splodged it around. That was quite fun. Oh, it's not supposed to be fun. Oh, it is. Right. So there we are. I'm going to just tip that round so you can see it. And you can see the effect of the bits that are shiny and the bits that aren't. Well, it's all shiny when it hits the light. I'm just going to do, I want to do that bit. And I happen to have what I think might work. I have these Gellyroll metallics. I think this black one might just work. My problem is I've got to try and do it without touching the glitter. But I'm going to try and have it go. Now it's, I purposely wanted the bit behind it to stay white. But what I'm thinking is if this isn't dark enough, and it doesn't show up, because obviously it's on top of some of the sort of design that I've coloured in black. I thought if it wasn't dark enough and it didn't show up, I might put some white around the edge or something like that. But I'll have to wait for this to dry before we'd get that. But anyway, I'm just basically colouring the letters in with black. So it's not very interesting for you, I'm afraid. But yeah, this book is really interesting. I actually find that some of the pictures seem to be drawn by somebody else than, you know, as if they're, but it's by Good Wives and Warriors. So I went and did some research because it's like, there's definitely not just one style of drawing, and I thought, so it's obviously a collaborative project. So I went to their website. Any of you who follow me on Facebook may have seen that I'd done that, and I posted, because they had some free downloads on their website, so I posted a link to those in case anybody wanted them. You can go, if you just search for Good Wives and Warriors in your search engine, you can find their website, and it shows all the commissions. It's 2 ladies, and it shows all the commission work that they've done, and wow, it's just beautiful. And the free downloads aren't from the colouring books either, so if you've got the books you might want them as well, or if you haven't got the books you can download them and have a play. And they have a sort of more complicated page and a simpler page with a similar theme. I don't think any of the items are the same on the 2 pages, but you see what I mean here, we're really close to the black, so I wasn't sure whether this was going to show up enough. I don't know if this is a bit too grey rather than black, but I think it's okay. I think it's pretty much black. And because with the black pen that I've used, pencil I've used, I've done some lighter and some darker work. I think that works. I used Georgione black pencil and 2 different oranges actually. Try not to put my hand down on the glitter. I don't know how long the Stickles take to dry. Anything I do like this, I always leave overnight to dry, and at least 10 and 6. I don't even know what that is. I mean, I know is it £10 and 6 shillings or 10 shillings and 6pence? I know it's old UK money, but the currency changed when I was just after I was born, so I don't really know. Now, I'm not sure how well that shows up with the other black or not, so I'm going to, let's take that away, there we go. I'm going to make a decision about that once it's all dry. It's quite hard to tell when it's wet because it's reflecting the light, but that is the background. And what you can do this for lots of different pages. If you've got a floral page, I did it on a wreath with roses, and I did a yellow background with bits of green in to make it look a bit like leaves, or you could take some other colours from what you've done. It just makes everything look a little bit special and magical, and it's so quick. No, that's 18 minutes that's taken me, and I've talked and messed about and fiddled and faddled. You know, it's not long, is it? If I was going to do that with pencil, my, how long would it take? I'm not even going to try and guess. So it's brilliant. So it's nice and quick. But I hope that was okay, because I did promise you I would show you one of my sort of Stickles backgrounds, and there it is. So I hope that's fun, and I hope you try it because it is good fun. If you don't have Stickles, you can just do the pastel bit. If you don't have pastels, you could try chalks, paint, you know, like watercolour if you're good. I'm rubbish. But I'm sure lots of you are really good with watercolour, things like that. There's lots of options, but it's just one little thing you can try. So there we go. So thank you for watching. I hope that you have a really lovely day, and happy colouring.